folks, when you're in the Galveston area and you need bait, stop by In the Zone bait shop. I'm telling you, of all the bait shops I've been to down here, this is probably the best one. I get good service here, good information, and great people. They also own a guide service, so if you're wanting to go out, they can get you out on the water. So In the Zone bait and tackle and guide service. So give them a call. Let's go inside and take a look here. So they got all the bait you can want. There we go. Y'all check them out. And yeah, there's their number right there. Y'all check them out when you come into Galveston. Great place. Yeah, folks, I'm out here trying to put together a fishing video. Not sure if it's going to work. I've already tried one spot over on the Gulf side. No luck. I did find 3 pieces of sea glass over there, but no fish. So we are now over here on the, I guess, the bay side. You can see tide is out. All this mud you're seeing here, all the way up to that grass out there, is usually underwater. Water is usually all the way up to these posts here. Got my rod sitting right there. You see all the oyster shells up out of the water over here. So I'm actually got it sitting, my bait sitting in the channel out there, the old rollover pass area. So I have been catching some small drum down here instead of those big 31-inch plus drum. Down here, but I haven't caught any keepers. Largest one I've caught down here was 12 inches, just slightly over 12 inches, and the smallest one was 10 inches. So, but I am out there in that channel out there a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll get something. So, I've been trying to do a fishing video for about a week or so, 2 weeks now, I think, and ain't been able to get one because just the fish just ain't been cooperating. So we're still going to try though. Well, folks, we've been here 2 hours, not even a single bite. Not that I was expecting anything. You can see where I've been slipping, trying to get down to my rod, checking baits. But nothing. And the wind has let up, so the bugs are starting to come out. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pick up and see if we can't find someplace else. Maybe where there's a little breeze to keep the bugs down. Got a barge coming through. This is the intercoastal waterway over here. So see a lot of barges and pleasure boats going through. No, I'll bring y'all back here in a little bit. We're gonna get this rod brought in and see if we can't find someplace else. So, well, folks, we're trying a different spot. We're back on the beach out in front of my camp, and that pole there in the rod holder, I am using shrimp on 2 hooks, dead shrimp, and down this one here that's leaned up against the ice chest there, I've got a pretty good sized finger mullet on there, and see if I can catch something a little bit bigger. So we'll give it a shot. Got a bunch of freaking dirt bikes and 4-wheelers running around here. I guess they don't know what the speed limit is on the beach. So but there'll be someone down here eventually to get them. All right, let's get back to fishing. Well, Folks, I got a bite there on that back rod sitting in the rod holder. I'm not sure if it's still there. Yesterday I caught one here, and it was just a little, about a 10-inch, 8 to 10-inch puppy drum. But heck, that's better than nothing. And let's see if we got all my bait or if it's still there. Got my bait. Okay. We'll try it again. Okay. Just using dead shrimp on this one. It doesn't take a whole lot to get this bait off the hook. Set my weight. All right, we'll give it a little bit more time here, and then try someplace else. Hello, folks. It's me again. It is 6:24. Sun's still up. We still got probably an hour and a half before sunset. So high tide should be coming in down at Rollover Pass, so we're going to go down there and try to do some fishing again. That's where I've been having my best luck. Not catching big fish, but catching multiple fish. Although I'm not catching a lot, and they're all small, but I am catching fish down there. Hopefully I'll hook into a legal one. I'm catching the black drum down there, puppy drum, and they've all, the largest, like I said earlier in the video, they've been 14 inches. It's the largest one. Shortest one, I think I caught yesterday, and he was, actually, I'm sorry, the shortest one I caught out here on the beach where I was fishing today. He was probably 8 inches long. I didn't measure him. The longest one, shortest one I've caught down there at Rollover Pass was 10 inches. Largest was just over 12 inches, not quite 12 and a half. So while we're driving down there, it's 17 miles. I am going to stop at the store, pick up something to drink, something to munch on while I'm down there. I have a problem, I like to munch. So talk about the pros and cons of living on the beach in a tent. One of the pros is you get to wake up to a beautiful sunrise over the water every morning if you're facing east. my case, I'm facing east out on the Gulf. So I get to wake up to that sun coming over the Gulf in the morning. And the sunset's not too bad. I got it over the sand dunes behind me, but the sunrise is really good. That lets the Lord let me know that He let me survive the night. And hopefully I can do good during the day and get to see the sunset. But and one of the cons to it is sand. Sand is everywhere. You can't keep it out of your tent. You get it in your food. It gives a new meaning to the word sandwich. I just finished eating a ham and cheese sandwich, and yeah, there was sand in it. So you feel all that. I'm starting to feel like I'm back in the Middle East when I was working in Kuwait. Everything over there has sand and dust in it. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Now, you may not have that issue if you're down here in a travel trailer, or if you get an Airbnb or stay at a hotel down here. But then you're paying for it, and here on the beach, I'm not paying for it. So I'll put up with the sand, save myself a little bit of money. One of the other cons is your neighbors. You never know from day to day. And the warmer it gets, the more neighbors we have. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like right now, there's a bunch of, I call them youngsters down there, on dirt bikes and quads running up and down the beach. Now, the speed limit on the beach is 20 miles an hour. It doesn't say 20 miles an hour except for quads or except for dirt bikes. It's 20 miles an hour, and I know they're down there to have fun, and I'm all for having fun. If I was that young, could still ride a dirt bike, I'd probably be doing it too. But it does get kind of annoying, and they're doing it down on this end of the beach because there's no houses up behind us. Right? Further down, now this beach is 27 miles long, and probably a mile of it has no houses yet. Now they are building a subdivision down here. That will not go back behind where I'm camped right now, because behind me is a wild bird, a shore bird sanctuary from the Houston Audubon Society, and it's got probably 100 acres back there behind me. But just off to the left of the road that I drive into the beach on, they're building a new gated community there. So eventually there'll be people up there, and they'll start calling the cops and griping about the dirt bikes down there and the quads. So I guess they're getting it all out of their system now. But and then you got the kids that want to swim down there. Today I was down there fishing. Y'all saw me down there. The family that was just probably 30 yards to my right, not watching their 3 little kids down there, probably age maybe 3 to, I don't know, 7 maybe, running around. One of them almost got up into my line, and didn't like it when I gave him a dirty look. So, but yeah, you're going to be fishing next to people wanting to swim. I don't swim anymore. I don't get in the ocean. I'm not at the top of the food chain out there. So my sister laughs at that, but she swims out there with the sharks and stuff, and that's fine. That's what you want to do, but not me. So, another pro camping on the beach is, like I said, it doesn't cost me anything. There is a $10 permit you have to buy for this beach, and I can camp anywhere on this beach, whether it's got houses behind me or not. It's 27 miles long, and I can camp anywhere on it I want. You got to keep in mind the tide, and honestly, down here by Rollover, just past Rollover Pass, when you get into Gilchrist, I wouldn't be camping on that beach there. Sometimes the tide comes up so high it comes across this road that we're on right now. But it's a $10 permit, and I can camp down there, and there is no time limit right now. They are talking about instituting a time limit. I hope they don't do that, but I can understand if they do. So, and one of the other cons to it is you got people get the Jeepers coming down, and I ain't got nothing against Jeeps. I own 2 of them. Love my Jeeps, but they have their jeepgery or whatever they call it down here on the beach and stuff. And like any other large gathering of people from spring break or motorcycle rallies or anything, you got some bad actors in there and they kind of ruin it for everybody. So you got about half the town here doesn't want them coming back. The other part, usually the business people, they want them back because they do bring a lot of money into the area. Gas on the peninsula here is expensive because you can't bring fuel tankers across on the ferry. They have to come all the way around. So there's only two ways in or out of Boulevard Peninsula. That's either coming across the ferry or going all the way up around towards Houston. And that's about an hour and a half drive from here, if not a little bit more. So it's gas about 30 cents a gallon more here on the peninsula than it is over in Galveston. Normally I'll just hop the ferry over to Galveston and fill up over there and then go to the library, do some editing or read my book, whatever, just doing something over there in Galveston. And like I said, the biggest con is the sand. It's everywhere. You can't get rid of it. So, but that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and end this right here, and we'll bring y'all back when we get to fishing. Okay, folks, we're back down here at Rollover Pass on the bay side, and if you looked at the beginning of the video, I showed you this place while tide was out, and all that out there was mud with a little stream going through here, and all that land that was showing out there is now underwater. And over there is where I had my fishing pole, and I was walking down through here to get to it, and I told y'all I usually fished off of this little point right here. This is because the water usually comes up to here, so, and then there's usually some really good crabs over here. Oh, there goes a fish. I don't know what that was. Don't know if I got him on phone or not, but I don't think he was a keeper. But we're going to be fishing right out that way. Somebody's bobber hung up. That thing's been out there for about a week or so now. But we're going to be fishing right out that way, and hopefully we'll catch some. So I'm going to shut this off and get set up, and I'll bring y'all back in a bit. Okay, let's get baited up here. Dead shrimp, folks. Cover that up so the birds don't get in there. Oh, yeah. Get past all those oyster shells. Now we wait. And I got my one line tangled up with that bobber out there, so hopefully I don't get cut off. Well, folks, we got the line set up. I'll probably be sitting in the truck here most of the time until I find my mosquito thing, my thermocell. Quite a few bugs out there right now, so don't want to be sitting in the bugs, but we do have our rods set up. Can you see them? Gonna need them like that so when it gets dark I can use my headlights. So probably could have got down here a little bit earlier and got more fishing done in the daylight, but I didn't think it was going to come in this fast because high tide's not until I think 9:18 tonight, and it's only about 7 o'clock. 6:30, 7 o'clock. Although I don't think there's going to be any more coming in. I've never seen it higher than it is right now. Now, folks, to show you just how shallow it is out there, you got two gentlemen walking out there, and they are parked way over in there where that green stuff is there. You can see the top of their vehicle right there. So they have walked out to there, and that's where that land was earlier today. And they kicked up all the birds out there. The birds are usually sitting out there because it's not very deep. So, but they're only in ankle deep water, if that, right now. So, yeah. Now they got to be careful because it does drop off into a channel out there. But there it is. And we're getting a bite on this one rod, the black rod. And it could have been a crab too. Need to find my thermocell. Yeah, I may have left it in the tent. Oh, got my bait. Kind of figured that was going to happen. Alright, I got some bug spray in the truck I'm going to put on. I'm going to try this stuff here. Stem. It's supposed to be a safe thing. Okay, there we go. See how it works. Because these aren't mosquitoes got me out here. They're little black flies. So, but we'll see how it works. Folks, because we are on the bay side tonight, we do get to see the sunset, but I don't think there'll be much. It is kind of cloudy out. So once it gets down lower than where it's at now, it's going to be gone. Otherwise, we'd have a sunset over there, although it don't look too bad. So, water's nice and calm. Seen the mullet breaking. Those two are headed back to their truck. I haven't seen them catch anything out there. So, here come the martins. Those are all those little birds you see flying by are martins. Plenty of bugs out here to eat, y'all. Come and get them. I just thought I'd show y'all that sunset over there. Yeah. It's a good thing about being out here on Boulevard. It's not very wide, so if you want to see the sunset in the evening, you ain't got to go far. In fact, all I got to do is drive probably 2 miles from where my tent is, and I can get the sunset setting over Galveston over there. So, but it's nice. We just had something bend that big one over pretty good. So let's go see if he's still on there. Got that shrimp. Okay, folks, haven't gotten any more bites. I think the crabs are picking my shrimp off the hook, and when I go out there I just get swarmed in bugs. There's really no hold on, there's really no breeze to keep the bugs down. So when you step out of the truck to go out there to tend to your rods or whatever, you get swarmed with them little black flies. So got one other spot we're going to try, and hopefully there's no one there, but I hear it's a popular spot, and because it is lighted, because it is a boat ramp and all paved and built up and stuff, hopefully they got lights in the parking lot so we don't have to stay outside and deal with these bugs. So I'll bring you back when we get there. It's just right down the road. Goes Fred flying off the pole. Okay, it's all lit up here. Let's see if there's any place to fish. I see 2 trucks out there at the end. That's what I'm trying to get to. We can fish. We will give it a shot here. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Bring y'all back in a minute. Well, folks, I think the only thing biting is the crabs and the bugs. So I think we're going to call it. Tomorrow is shower day. Going to run into Galveston to the rec center and take a shower. And then I don't know what. We'll figure something out. Depending on the tide, we might try to find someplace else to fish. Maybe run down to San Luis Pass. I don't know. Can't be any worse there than it is here. Ease in. Something ate the shrimp and part of the fish that was on here. so crabs, I'm sure. Looking at the way the pole was moving, I don't think it'd be anything else. Okay. Ouch. Oh. Put this up here. Okay. All right. Put these up. Oh. Might as well take y'all with me, huh? Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Oh, I might be getting a little mist moving there and a little fog. Telling you folks, if the fish were biting half as good as these bugs are, we might have caught something. And don't think I'm going to end the video here, but we'll see what happens small.